Good morning and welcome to our community affairs program that we call 30 Minutes. Today our special guests are Miss Chris Norton and Brother Curtis McClendon. They are board members with Helping Hand Ministries, and we're going to talk about Helping Hands today. And first of all, it's a pleasure to have you all on the program.
Well, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here with you this morning. Thank you.
Great pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for allowing us to do this.
As we were talking before the program about Helping Hand, we're coming out still a little, coming out of the COVID period and trying to get the word out that you are open for business, you're needing volunteer help, and you're here to help people in the community.
Absolutely, we're open for business. We sit on Miles Avenue just behind Save-A-Lot. And not everybody drives down that part of that road. And during COVID, of course, we were mandated to be closed. And so what happens is then people kind of get the sense that you're not there anymore. And we want to let people know that we're not only still here, we're striving to become more than we've ever been. We have new ministries that we're starting. We have old ministries that we're supporting. And we're depending on folks to know that we're here. I spoke to a person the other day. He's lived in Union City for like 5 years, didn't know we existed, came to the store, went crazy over it, and said, gosh, I had to come back here and shop. During July, for instance, we have all of our clothing in our thrift store is on sale, every piece for $1 a piece, and shoes for $2. So it's really a cool time to shop, the July blowout.
Brother Curtis, explain to us actually what Helping Hand Ministries is.
Let me do that by sharing with you our mission statement. Helping Hand Ministry, it's a mission. Our mission is a hand up, not a handout. So many people frown upon people who wants a handout, but we're not about that. We're about a hand up. And at the same time, it's our action. Our faith is our action. Everything we do and say, we're trying to get people to get involved, because this is helping the whole community as well as O'Brien County and surrounding areas. And we just be showing our faith in action. This is faith in action.
Amen.
Our deeds and our charity give hope. Jesus said, greater love than this and no man have for his brother. And at the same time, he said, love you one another as you love yourself. So here we are. We're trying to do our very best to put this in action. We need all the help that we can get to keep this going. It started a long time ago, but we want to keep it going even after we leave the scene, if the world is still standing. At the same time, so many people are disenfranchised right now. Mm-hmm. Women and children fighting for property. And at the same time, we got homelessness. We see homelessness on the television, on the news, and we see people on the street strung out on drugs addiction, alcohol addiction. Man, those people, somebody love those people in spite of. There's a soul inside that body in spite of. And what we're trying to do, hey, Jesus said, if you love me, love you one another as I have loved you. And at the same time, when you see your brother in need, share with your brother. Don't just walk past him. At the same time, people are hungry every day in the United States of America, the strongest country on the planet. But we got people right here in our community going hungry. That should not be. We got people that are sick, can't really help themselves. And so many times when I take my medication, trying to twist the top off, I think about those older people that don't have the strength and nobody there to help them to do that. At the same time, we find, like I say, in prison, a lot of people are in prison today that shouldn't be in prison. But when those people are released, sometimes they have nowhere to go. And what you see on their back, sometimes is all they have. That's what we're all about. Giving a hand when they're in need. The unchurched. Oh, here we go now. That's me. The unchurched. We just only provide material things. We provide the word of the Lord for those people, with those people. Because once again, this is our faith in action. We believe when Jesus said, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was sick, you come to see about me. When I was in prison, you visit me. That's all we're trying to do. But we need a hand to help do that. We need a up hand. And that's why we're doing this program today, so that the community will know what it's all about. And I'm going to share this before I turn it back over to Chris. I used to pass that building going home all the time. Never thought about it. I seen what it said. Until the late Brother Jerry Liggett approached me and asked me would I serve on the board. I said, sure. So I got on the board, served the board. I was stunned. And I was also ashamed of myself as a minister to pass that building and never stop to go inside that building and find out what that building was all about. It is a very powerful ministry, and we want to keep it going.
And Chris, explain to us exactly what Helping Hand Ministries, what does it provide? What is inside that building that helps those in the community?
Well, it's not just what's in the building, but I will talk about what we do from the building.
Sure.
We provide school uniforms for children that can't have them. We provide bicycles to provide transportation to go to work. We give winter coats out when it's getting to be cold. We give furniture whenever it's available to people who have burnouts or they've been evicted and maybe they have nothing to live with. We provide clothing for newly released prisoners, for hospital patients, for prisoners, and for abused women and children every day. We provide school backpacks, bus tickets for people who are just passing through, diapers and bottles and blankets and personal hygiene kits, transportation to medical rehab facilities. Wheelchairs and walkers are available every day on a loaning basis rather than a purchase basis. We provide disaster assistance. At the last floods that we had in Union City, Helping Hand brought boxes and boxes of clothing so that each person that was displaced from the flood had something dry to put on, and helped us with bedding for the cots and things. Clothing for churches, job interviews. We teach people how to do job interviews and work uniforms. We've given financial planning classes. We serve burnouts left and right. We get homeless hotel rooms to stay and to stay sheltered. I could go on for hours about what our ministry provides, all free of charge. And then we have this amazing thrift shop. We have everything you could imagine. We have Hummels and furniture, and we have tents and umbrellas, and we have clothing, and we have baby items and kids things and kitchen stuff and shoes and everything you could have for a household, which is available to the public to come and purchase. And that's an important thing for us because it provides us with funds. Nothing happens without funds. I'm sorry, but you got to have money to do the things that we're trying to do. So in addition to the thrift store income, we depend heavily on financial donations of people who help us to support our ministry. And also, we also depend on volunteer efforts and labor in the store. We have people every day coming in to help us work through the donations of goods that come to our back door, which fill the thrift store. We have to sort them and hang them and price them and get them ready to be for the public. It's a 24/7 job, and we do it with 2 paid employees, and every other penny that we receive goes back to Obion County, charitably given with a happy heart and a word from the Lord of encouragement and help.
Because I was going to ask, how was it funded? Do you take donation of items for the store?
Absolutely. Every day that we're open, which is 6 days a week, we accept donations for the thrift store of clothing, any kind of hard goods or soft goods that you can imagine. We take food. We have a food pantry also. Anybody who walks through our door and says they're hungry, they walk out with food. If it's raining and they don't have an umbrella, they walk out with an umbrella. I like to say it's a full-service stop shop, but we can't do everything. we just want to do everything that we can do, because the better support that we get, the more that we can hand out God's love and make people feel worthy in their life. Because, when you get that low, sometimes you can't see anything but the poverty, but the poorness. And so we're trying to give a ray of light to these folks who come into us.
And Brother Curtis, you mentioned seeing homeless people on television and hungry people on television. As you mentioned, they're just as prevalent right here in this community as what you see on television.
Yes. My sisters and brothers, those up under the sound of my voice, it's going to get worse.
Yes.
It's going to really get worse. We don't see it on the level of major cities, but it's going to get worse. We have homelessness and hunger right here in Union City and Obion County. You never know when it might be you. You might get burned out. You might get flooded out. Anything can happen at any given time. But at the same time, here we are, a helping hand. But now, helping hand need a hand. We need a hand up so we can keep this ministry going, that when this time comes, hey, here we are. We can supply. We can meet the needs. And at the same time, I want to say this. We come up with the idea with the police department called, what is it, Backpack of Love?
Bags of Love.
Backpack of Love. Helping Hand will supply the backpacks, personal hygiene items, little snacks, and the officers run across somebody that's in need of that, give it to them. We supply everything. All we need is them to help. And the chief of police is 100% on board with it. It's just a matter of time when we get it started. So my sisters and brothers, you that are listening, let God touch your heart, touch your mind, and then let him touch your wallet, your finances, to help this ministry keep going, because it's a very powerful ministry. And once again, I am ashamed at the time that I passed that store on my way home daily and never stopped. But when I got involved, my God, what a powerful ministry.
So there's room for more volunteers and people to assist and help, isn't it?
Absolutely, there is. And I'd like to add one more invitation that I failed to mention before, and that is that if you know a group who has people who have a heart for charity, a heart for helping, if you let us know, we'd be happy to send a speaker to your organization, bring brochures so that you can have something in hand to know what it is that we're all about. And of course, we issue the invitation, come down to the store and get acquainted with us so that you really know what we're talking about, because it's really pretty awesome what goes on down there.
And we were talking before the interview here that things are still down from the COVID period. What are you asking for the public to do, and what is it going to take to get it back up and going strong again?
Well, actually, we are going strong. We're back to, actually, we've eclipsed our pre-COVID numbers as far as the store is concerned. It's just that it's still, the community is not aware enough.
You think it's a hidden secret?
I think it's a gem that's just not been found yet by a lot of people. I mean, I have recently, there was a lovely lady who passed away, and her family knew of us. And so she gave us a legacy of what was left over from their yard sale, from emptying out the house. She donated everything that was left over. So we got some furniture, we got some other things. We're always open to getting pieces from just about any source, because the more that we have to give, the more that we can do for the people. The more that we have to sell, the more that we're able to help people. The more we get donations of cash and food and health supplies, the better we can help the public. So we just ask that you come and get acquainted with us so that you'll get a heart for what we're doing and we can join together in a partnership.
And you also said that this is actually an arm or part of the local ministerial association. Is that correct?
Well, it is. Actually, the Ministerial Association birthed Helping Hand Ministry 38 years ago. And over the last 38 years, we've helped over 75,000 people. I mean, we're busy. And so in that period of time, of course, we've had a lot of differences, a lot of changes, and different things have happened. But you can't keep on keeping on without a shift, because, everything comes in seasons in life. And so, like, we sit on the board for 4 or 5 years, and then we wash out because it's a lot of work. We're a working board, and so we're always in need of someone to come in and take a new place in the board. We're looking for people who have wisdom about education, someone who'd be willing to give a class in finances again, or someone who could teach personal hygiene for a class time. We're an inventive organization. We're open to start new things and support new things, too.
I know here at Thunderbolt Broadcasting, we've brought many fans over there during our fan collection. And I have personally brought a van full of fans there. And to go back 3 or 4 days later, and
they're gone
because there is that much need, correct?
The doors are opening and closing all day long, every day. We're open from 8:30 till noon on Monday and Wednesday. We're open from 8:30 to 5:30 the balance of the week, and from noon until 5 on Saturday. And there's hardly a time that you can go into that store that there isn't something going on. Someone seeking help with their rent, seeking help with medicine bills, seeking help with water bills, a hotel room, all the things we talked about. There's almost always someone there. We have 2 boards. I'll bring that up too, because we have a benevolent board that reviews every application for help. And then we have the working board, which is Curtis and me and others. And so we're well balanced. We make sure that nothing underhanded or imperfect goes on in our business, because this is something that is a vital operation for lots of people's lives.
Is there a certain area of people that you serve, Brother Curtis, or is this for anybody needing help?
It's for anybody.
Obion County.
Obion County.
Yeah.
Anybody in Obion County.
Right.
And you mentioned you have items for sale. I'm sure the cost on these items is very.
It's yard sale pricing. We try to make sure that we're not overpricing things, because we want to make them affordable.
I know that you each are serving on the board. Ms. Norton, you said you're the chairman of the board, and Brother Curtis is on the board. But what about the director of operations there at Helping Hand Ministries? Let's introduce her and tell about her.
Stacia McIntosh. She is the director of the program, and she does an awesome job.
Yes.
Stacia was a Marine. She's still a Marine to the core.
Once you are, aren't you, Brother Curtis?
Yeah.
And she has that courage and that strength of character, and she has a heart for people who are lost and people who are down and out. And she has this beautiful mix of strength and love that could not be duplicated in anybody besides someone that had those characteristics. She's awesome because she wants to provide everything. She goes so over the top. I've seen her do things personally that were not part of her job description. I've seen her hand her own money out, just
from the heart.
From the heart. And Stacia, that's not your job. Don't do that, So she's just amazing. And then we have Kara Donovan, who has recently started. Like I said, we only have 2 employees. So she's second in command. And Kara comes with a whole different group of talents to fill the store. She has decorating talents that are very, very good. She has a flair for putting outfits together, and I mean, she's strong, and she works hard, and she meets the public well, and she has friends that she's brought in as volunteers. So, I mean, we're just outfitted better than we've been in a long, long time as far as staff is concerned.
And Brother Curtis, you kind of mentioned the business is a business of love.
Yes, it is. Jesus Christ is love. God proved that. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. If you're a born-again believer, let's put that love in action. We got this powerful ministry right here in Obion County to help those that can't help themselves, those that are in need, whatever the situation may be. We're right here, but once again, we continue to need resources, monetarily and materialistic. We need these resources to keep this ministry going. And I got to say, too, I love the fact that my Stacia is a Marine, I'm a Marine, and it shows because, as the chairman said, she goes above and beyond what she's paid to do. So let us help this ministry. I'm crying out to you today. I'm crying out to each and every one. Let God touch your heart. Let God touch your mind. And even if you can't give monetary, if you got something that's good and you want to just make room in your house to get rid of it, just not stop by and just drop it off. We'll be glad to have it. Let your love show. Let it show. Don't say, I just love you. Put that love in action. And this is a very powerful way to do it, by giving helping hand a hand up.
And I think you've already issued the challenge to people, as you said happened to you. Just stop by the store and take a look at it. Walk around.
Look. Yes, just stop by and take a look. You'll be surprised. I was surprised. I was very surprised. And I'm walking through looking at all this stuff and looking at the prices on it. I was, oh my God. And then when I got on the board, I began to hear things that, once again, you don't pay attention to. The homelessness, the need, the cries in the community, you don't really pay that much attention to. But man, when I went through that store, and I told my wife when I got home, I said, you ain't gonna believe this. I said, that little blue building that we pass by all the time is a very powerful ministry.
Yeah.
But then on the inside, once again looking on the outside, then on the inside, I see this ministry need the community help in order to keep God's love given to those that need that love. I mean, it's so easy to do. So easy to do. All you need is just, God touch my heart. If you got a hard heart, or you're a born-again believer, you know what Jesus Christ say, love you one another as I have loved you. It's easy to do. Come on, give us a hand up.
So you're wanting people to walk in that door, aren't you?
We are wanting people to walk in the door. And one thing I want to say also is with regard to love. We have been blessed with the courts mandating people to do community service in our facility. So we're giving a hand up to the people who have been in trouble. At the same time, they're giving us help in the store. We have groups from different churches, and I'll mention that we have a group of ladies who comes in from Second Baptist, and they come in every week, and they clean the store. They put things back in places where they ought to be. They know the store like the back of their hand now. They've been doing it for about 2 years, I think. And they just come in and they have a great time doing it. I have a group of people who come in and clean the library and get the books all back in order. We've got books. We sell books by the bag for $5 a bag. There's wonderful books in there. I mean, they're just super books. We've got, like I said, we've got whole kitchen sets up. We've got an office section. We've got the year-round holiday store. Every holiday that you're interested in, we have a little part of the store that we set aside as Holiday Land. And so, I mean, don't think that anything that you have that you're willing to release is too little or too much, because recently we had a set of speakers donated that were very, very high end. There were probably about, I'm going to say probably $1,500 in value that were donated to Helping Hand because of the kindness of the people that donated it. And as a result, it helped boost our ability to purchase food and put it in the food bank. So even a small figurine can end up making somebody happy and adding a little bit of benefit to what we're able to do through the thrift store, through the ministry, to help the people who are truly in need. And with our benevolent board, we do try to filter out those who are not truly in need. We need to do that because we're in the time when you just got to do it.
What if someone should come into the store and need a certain item where it's needed for them? You don't have that. Do you try to reach out and maybe try to find that for them to help them in that way?
Well, actually, we have gone and looked for things for somebody. It's not common because we have a vast variety in the store. I mean, it's uncommon that we wouldn't be able to meet. But if somebody has a prescription that needs to be filled, for instance, we have been known to help. We've got certain people that we can go to for coupons to help with the cost, and then we can give the money for the prescription to be purchased. So, we don't have drugs in our own store, but we can help for somebody to get it. And I'm talking insulin and things that people have to live. So we're saving lives as well as saving the way people live.
With what you have said today, you're helping people any way that you can. But I see in talking to both of you that although you're fulfilling the needs of those people who come to Helping Hands, I think that it's fulfilling something in your lives too. Is that correct?
No
Absolutely.
doubt about it. No doubt about it. You can say that I'm a Christian. You can say all these things, but God looks at your heart. But he also wants your action to prove that you're a Christian. And when you obey his commandment, when you give from your heart to others that don't have, he blesses you. And believe it or not, you may not have anything. Two pennies are rubbed together. But you got something you can give to help somebody. And giving that, and you're a born-again believer, it encourages your heart. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel the presence of the Lord. So once again, I'm making a plea to the community, crying out to you to please help us with the resources we need to keep the love of God in our community. And before I close, I want to say this too. I want to thank the owner here. I want to thank Charles Schultz here.
Yes.
Because you're giving Helping Hand a hand up by allowing us to come in here and make this plea to the community and let the community know what that ministry is all about.
Amen. Yeah, we really appreciate you letting us be here and talk to you about this, because it's not just about us. It's about lots of folks.
We thank you all tremendously for what you're doing, and I hope people take up the challenge Brother Curtis has put out.
Amen.
And walk in the store and see it. It changes their mind, their heart, and the needs that you need. Come to the store, and people bring you the financial needs and the items that you need to assist those in this community. And it's a wonderful ministry, and we thank you all very much.
Thank you so much again for inviting
Yes.
us. We really appreciate it.
And that concludes this week's 30 Minutes program. We have been talking to Miss Chris Norton and Brother Curtis McClendon. They are with Helping Hand Ministries. We hope you enjoyed this week's program. And, of course, we invite you to tune in again next week at this same time as we bring you topics and information of importance to our community. From all of us here at Thunderbolt Broadcasting, until we meet again next week, I'm Charles Choate.
You've been listening to 30 Minutes, a community affairs program on Thunderbolt Radio. You can listen to this broadcast and others anytime by visiting thunderboltradio.com and following the Thunderbolt Radio and Digital YouTube page. Thanks for listening.